सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवम् श्रीराधा कृष्णपदां साधन ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Sanatana Goswami Prabhu ji, Dandavat Pranams.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Is it okay, Prabhu ji, to turn on your video?
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu ji. Let us.
Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome all of you for the today's morning program, Nityam Bhagavatha Sevaya. And today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Sanatana Goswami Prabhu. He will enlighten us on Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 5th chapter, and text 5. Over to you, Prabhu ji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu ji. Hare Krishna. So, Dandavat Pranam, all the devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. I seek your blessings before starting and speaking on this verse. Whatever I have heard from all the senior Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarubhescha kripa sindhubhe vacha patitanam pamare vaishnavebhyo namah. So, let me share my screen. Is it visible, bro?
Yes, Prabhu ji.
Yeah. So we'll start with the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Saji Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Dev Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamsha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhescha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangulam khaite girim yatkrupahatam vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire. नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी. कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो. So once again, Dhanvat Pranam all the dear devotees and welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. So today we are discussing Srimad Bhagavatam 5th canto, the creative impetus, and chapter number 5, that is Lord, let me see, Lord Rishabdeva's teachings to his sons. So this is a very wonderful chapter, series of verses which are going on, and today we are discussing verse number 5. Am I audible and loud enough, clear enough?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. Okay. So this is verse number 5. पराभवस्तावत् अबोधजातो यावन्न जिज्ञासत आत्मतत्त्वम् यावत् क्रियास्तावत् इदं मनो वै कर्मात्मकं येन शरीरबन्धः. Parabhava, defeat or misery. Tavat, so long. Abodhajata, produced from ignorance. Yavat, as long as. Na, not. Jigyasate, inquires about. Atma Tattva, the truth of the self. Yavat, as long as. Kriya, fruitive activities. Tavat, so long. Idam, this. Manah, mind. Vai, indeed. Karmatmakam, absorbed in material activities. Yena, by which. Sharira bandha, bondage in material body. Bondage in this material body. A translation and purport by His Divine Grace Eshu Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Sri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: as long as one does not inquire about the spiritual values of life, one is defeated and subjected to miseries arising from ignorance. Be it sinful or pious, karma has its resultant actions. If a person is engaged in any kind of karma, his mind is called karmatmaka, colored with fruitive activity. As long as the mind is impure, consciousness is unclear. And as long as one is absorbed in fruitive activity, he has to accept a material body. Purport. Generally, people think that one should act very piously in order to be relieved from misery. But this is not a fact. Even though one engages in pious activity and speculation, he is nonetheless defeated. His only aim should be emancipation from the clutches of Maya and all material activities. Speculative knowledge and pious activity do not solve the problems of material life. One should be inquisitive to understand his spiritual position. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 4.37, Yathaithamsi samsiddho gnir bhasmasat kurute Arjuna Jnanagnihi sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute tatha. As a blazing fire turns firewood to ashes, O Arjuna, so does the fire of knowledge burn to ashes all reactions to material activities. So Prabhupada very nicely explaining in this purport how once all efforts, material efforts, they are like defeat. They are defeated. They are parabha. And Prabhupada is mentioning basically talking about two hindrances in our spiritual life or perfection of life, that is karma and jnana. So in this second para also Prabhupada explains about Gyanis. Unless one understands the self and its activities, one has to be considered a material bondage. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Ye anya arvindaksha vimuktamanina stvai ashtabhavat avishuddha buddhaya. A person who doesn't have knowledge of devotional service may think himself liberated, but really, actually, he is not. Aruhya prishchena parampadam tatha padanti adho anadrita ushmad angraya. Such people may approach the impersonal Brahman effulgence, but they fall down again into material enjoyment because they have no knowledge of devotional service. As long as one is interested in karma and jnana, he continues enduring the miseries of material life, birth, old age, disease, and death. Karmis certainly take on one body after another. As far as Gyanis are concerned, unless they are promoted to the topmost understanding, they must return to the material world. As explained in Bhagavad Gita 7.19, Bahunam Janmanam Mante Jnanaman Prapadyate. The point is to know Krishna, Vasudeva, as everything and surrender unto him. Karmis do not know this, but a devotee who is 100% engaged in the devotional service of the Lord knows fully what is karma and what is jnana. Therefore, a pure devotee is no longer interested in karma or jnana. And this is, from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Prabhupada quotes, Anya vilashita shunyam jnana karma, the anavritam anukulena Krishna anushridanam bhakti uttama. The real bhakta is untouched by any tinge of karma and jnana. His only purpose in life is to serve the Lord. So, one of the mostly quoted verses from Srimad Bhagavatam by Srila Prabhupada in all his conversations and talks and morning programs. Many times Prabhupada has quoted this verse, classic verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhupada is telling, Srimad Bhagavatam, see how the vision of Shastras, the Shastra Chakshu, what is that the thing which Shastras are valuing in our life? What do they value in our life, especially? This is very important. If that is not there in our life, that is defeat, parabhava. One person's activities are all defeated as long as if he is not inquiring about the spiritual value of life or uh, Atma Tattvam. That's why it is parabhava. And this is the start of any uh, uh, spirituality. This is the special prerogative of human form of life to do higher inquiries. Even the Vedanta Sutra, the first aphorism is called Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Now you have got the human form of life, so inquire about the higher truth. This is very important because this is special prerogative. Nobody other in other living entities or other species we cannot do this inquiry. So that's why Athato Brahma Jigyasa. It's very important. So we see, as per the vision of sadhu, as per the vision of shastras, whatever modern man, postmodern man, we are doing all these materialistic advancement, technological advancement, whatever, throughout our life, we are accumulating all these things and, all our education and degrees. Everything will be considered as parabhava, defeat. It is defeated. Why? If it is not oriented towards or it is not directed towards the Atma Tattva, the real inquiry, the real purpose of human form of life. So if you are not valuing the spiritual value of life, then it is all defeat. So we see so much advancement we have done in today's day and world in 21st century, uh, unprecedented, unimagined by our ancestors. So much technological advancement, so much we have conquered the space, we have conquered the energy, all industrial development, information technological development, social media. We have faster communications. We are communicating with any corner of the world. We have gadgets, hi-fi gadgets, and currently it's artificial intelligence, chat GPT. All these things. People are proud of the way the lifestyle has improved. But as per Shastra Chakshu, it will be Parab. It will be defeated completely if it is not oriented towards Atma Tattva. So,
your voice getting distorted in between.
is it?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Check my internet connection. Yeah, I'm connected to broadband. Is it coming properly, Prabhuji, now?
Now it's okay, Prabhuji.
Okay, let me take this little closer, so maybe it's like distance.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, okay. Let me know if it is again getting distorted. So I was mentioning all this razzle dazzle of all this clamor of technological advancement or material prosperity. It is just considered as the activities on the level of animals. You know, the famous words we learn in Bhagavad course whenever we start uh, the science of self-discovery, that ahar nidra bhay maithunam cha samanya maitat pashubhi naranam dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesho dharmena hina pashubhi samana. So whatever our material prosperity is there, it will be as good as, you know, like the activities of pashus, animals, if it is not oriented towards the higher jigyasa. Dharmena hina pashubhi samana. It is polished EMST, polished eating, mating, sleeping, and defending. Prabhupada used to tell. Dog is running on the four legs, and you people are running on the four wheels, maybe Mercedes Benz. But what's the difference? As long as you are searching for these four things, EMST, so there is no difference. So that's why this higher inquiry is very important. Probably this voice is clear now.
In between, little bit distortion, Prabhuji. Okay, we can manage, Prabhuji.
Okay. I don't know. I'm not understanding why. I'm connected to broadband also. No problem. If it is getting too much distracted, then tell me. I'll connect with my other internet.
Sure, Prabhuji.
Okay. So this first word parabhav, it is denoted many times in pavarga. You know, like we have this apavarga in Shastras. Many times we see the shlokas that dharmasya hi apavargasya. So in Sanskrit or Devanagari letters, we have this per class. Per. So per is denoted to parishram. Although we have to put a materialistic person, we have to put a lot of parishram, lot of efforts, and ultimately what is going to happen, it has to be happen parabhav. It is going to land in defeat. Although he has put his lot of sweat and toil and, you know, shed a lot of blood to, you know, like accumulate things and acquire things, but ultimately as per Shastra it will be parabhav as long as it is not oriented towards Matat. So much parishram and ultimately parab. And how much parishram? Pain. Till, you know, like you're foaming at the mouth. Pain. And then ba is like banda, you are bound by material entanglements. And then bha is always fearful. And then last, your destination is ma. Ma is that mrityu. So this is a story. This is autobiography. This is a biography of a materialistic person. Pervert. Shastra just values this. Okay, what we have done, we have acquired so many things, so many land, so many degrees, so many, you know, cars, so many followers. What it is, just pervert. If it as long as it is not giving the. So this is the vision of sadhu. This is the vision of Shastra. When Alfred Ford, British Prabhu, who is now chairman of the TOEP temple committee, first time he approached Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhupada, devotees told that he is the grandson of Henry Ford. Prabhupada asked, "Oh, you are grandson of Henry Ford? Where is Henry Ford now?" So by this just one question, this one question got hit him. So, you know, like the words of sadhu are, you know, like it got a revelation. After attaining so much empire of, you know, Ford company and everything Henry Ford has acquired, but where is he now? What he is doing now, and where, in which space he must be now. So this is the power of word of sadhu. They immediately ask the revealing question. So that is the spirituality. That is the, especially the Sanatana Dharma or the Indian culture, again and again asking this question: that are you oriented toward the main goal of life, human form of life? Otherwise, all your activities are just waste of time. Dharma svanushtitah pumsam vishvaksena katha suyaha na utpadir yatiratim shrama eva hi kevalam. If it is that, if all your activities are not oriented, it is not creating the attraction towards the message of the Lord, towards the Sanatana Dharma, towards the Atma Tattvam, then it is Shrama Eva Hi Kevalam. It is waste of time. That's why they don't value that. We see when Srila Prabhupada he reached at the uh, America in 1965 at the Boston Harbor. Prabhupada, when he saw the big skyscraper building and the materialistic advancement of America, he was least bothered, not in a tinge of impressed by this advancement. Rather, he felt compassion. He felt compassion that people here are suffering and they are covered with passion and ignorance. He writes in Markine Bhagavad Dharma, we sing this song many times. Bado Kripa Karile Krishna Adhame. So in one stanza he tells, Rajas Tamo Bhave Era Sabai Achan. Everybody is covered here with passion and ignorance. How they will be delivered? So this is the compassion of acharyas. They are thinking about, oh my God, this modern man, this Kali Yuga persons, they are like engrossed in materialistic activities. How they can be delivered? This is the question. This is the endeavor of all the acharyas. We see in Srimad Bhagavatam also. Srimad Bhagavatam, the Shaunakadi Rishi, all in the Naimishan, they are asking Sudha Goswami, what is the ultimate benefit for this in Kali Yuga? Praya and Alpayusha, they are, very less lived life and very less intelligence. How they will be delivered? And this question has been glorified. Sudha Goswami tells that Munayo sadhu prishtahum bhavat bhir lokamangalam. This question is very, very benefitful and welfare for the society. These sadhus sitting in, that jungle, forest, Naimishar, and they are not asking about how we can, conquer space or energy and which, like manipulating all these Panchamahabhutas, how we can do materialistic advancement. They are asking about the real goal of life, that how these people can be delivered. So this is the vision of Sadhu and Shastra. They are interested in Atma Tattvam. Without this knowledge or without this Atma Tattvam or Krishna Tattvam, all our endeavors are big zeros. So although we put like big zeros we have put, and until unless we have that one which will value that amount of figure, if we take out that one, that all our endeavors as questions. So that's why this inquiry is very important. When Sanatana Goswami, he approached Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is asking the very same question first time, that Ke ame, keno amai jare tapatra. Who am I? Why these 3-4 miseries are torturing me? Gram me vavahare pandit mani. People are saying me I am pandit, but I don't know why I am suffering from these 3-4 miseries. So this is a very, very basic inquiry we have to do. Prabhupada tells in that purport that there are big scholars, PhDs and doctors, they are writing thesis, but they don't know this basic knowledge about Atma Tattva. Prabhupada gives example of this Dr. Potosky. In Russia, he was talking with Dr. Potosky, and the doctor was telling Prabhupada, why you are mentioning about these 4 regulative principles, no meat eating, no sex, no gambling? Why? What happens after death? Everything will be finished. So Prabhupada telling, see, this is their knowledge. They don't know about the next life. In India, even a simple sweeper knows that I have to, act properly, I have to behave properly, morally, so that, my ultimate destination will be proper. So, divide of this Atma Tattvam, all our endeavors are parampurush. That's why Shastra always reminds us that again and again we should inquire about this. In fact, Bhagavad Gita starts with this Atma Tattva. The first chapter is Arjuna Vishad Yoga, but immediately after that, Krishna tells Arjuna the knowledge about the soul. Arjuna was bewildered that What am I supposed to do? What is my activity? Krishna is telling him, before understanding your activity, understand your identity, who you are. Then we can fix activity. So that is very, very important. Although Arjuna was knowing all the archery skill, weapons to invoke the celestial, like that weapons and all, but still he was confused because lack of that Atma Tattva. So Prabhupada is mentioning here, basically Srimad Bhagavatam is mentioning that because of this Atma Tattva, all our endeavors will be futile. So two hindrances which create roadblocks to our devotional service or understanding this real nature of the soul, that is karma and jnana. So Prabhupada here in purport is mentioning that as long as the mind is flavored with fruitive activity, so there is a karma and jnana. Basically, in the translation, it is mentioned about detail about fruitive activity. Prabhupada adds in purport jnana. It is very interesting that Prabhupada, considering jnana is also there on the level of karmatmaka, because they want something from that jnana kant or jnana yoga, from the process of jnana. Why? Because they want to merge in impersonal aspect of the Lord, Brahman. So we see, first of all, let's talk about karma. That we know as per Bhagavad Gita, we have three types of karma: karma, akarma, and vikarma. So akarma is devotional service, which doesn't create any reactions or fruits to our actions. Karma is fruitive activity, the actions which are done in order to get the fruits, and vikarma is forbidden action. So all the Vedas, entire Vedic body of knowledge, is mostly about the karma kanda. If you see all the Vedas and corollary related all the Shastras and Puranas, 60% of the body is about karma. Which are the different vidhis or vratas or karma kanda procedures we have to follow so that we can get something out of that. So this is 60%. 30% is Gyan Kanda, about Gyan knowledge, and 10% is Upasana Kanda. In that also very little bit knowledge about devotional service and bhakti has been given. So that's why when Narad Muni comes and he chastises Sri Vyasadeva that you are promoting people to follow this karma kanda. You are just sprinkled here and there about devotional service. Now, you write such a scripture which is exclusively describing about the devotional service of the Lord. And that's why Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Vyasadeva writes, Dharma projita kaitavotra paramo nirmastaranam sata. So it kicks off all the kaitava. Vedyam vastavam atra vastu shivadam. Vastav vastu. This is the real thing. Shivadam tapotrayon umana. This will relieve all the human beings from three kinds of kleshas. Tapotrayon umana. Srimad Bhagavatam Mahamuni Krute Kimva Pareshwara. So this is Srimad Bhagavatam is the Prema Kumarto Maha. The goal of Srimad Bhagavatam is to give the devotion, pure devotion service to the Lord. So that's why we see people who are behind the fruitive activity, they want the fruits, to enjoy the fruits of that activity, they'll be always disturbed. Prabhupada is mentioning here that whether it is a pious or impious, even though one engages in pious activity and speculation, he is nonetheless defeated. His only aim should be emancipation from the clutches of Maya and material activities. So speculative knowledge and pious activity do not solve the problems of material life. One should be inquisitive to understand his spiritual position. That is Atma Tattva. Who am I? What is my position? That is very, very important. So this karma cannot satisfy as long as the mind is flavored with this fruitive activity. He will be always disturbed. Prabhupada is mentioning about that. Thus cannot completely satisfy the soul. We can ask people that why after so much of prosperity, technological advancement, still people are not feeling happy, and they are not removed of all the problems of life. They are going through all this Jan Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. So because this fruitive activity cannot satisfy the soul, only devotional service. And that's why Bhagavatam states, Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo, Yato Bhakti Adokshaj, Ahetuki Apratihata, Yayatma Suprasidhi. Only the unmotivated, Ahetuki, uninterrupted, Apratihata devotional service offered towards Krishna can satisfy the pure soul. And this will give the liveliness even to karma and jnana. We see in Srimad Bhagavad Gita also. Now, there are 3 sections in Bhakti Shastra we study, like first 6 sections are karma yoga, last 6 sections are jnana yoga, and middle 6 chapters are like bhakti yoga. So why bhakti yoga is in middle? Bhakti is in middle because it is giving nourishment to both karma yoga and jnana. So when with the touch of devotional service, with the touch of bhakti, karma becomes karma. With the touch of devotional service, jnana becomes jnana. So that's why devotional service of bhakti is very important. But without that, mere karma kand will not satisfy the soul. He will be always disturbed, flavored with fruitive activities, uh, subject to the miseries of life, as mentioned in this shloka. So His Divine Grace Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he writes in Vaishnava songs, Anadi Karma Phale Podi Pavar Navachale. From time immemorial, I have been trapped in this Bhavar Navachale, the ocean of mercy, the Bhavasagar, material existence. And there is no solution I am finding, Krishna. And in one of the stanza, he mentions about Jnana Karma Thagadui More Pratariya. There are 2 highway robbers. There are 2, thieves. They have looted me. They have robbed me of this. That is, one is jnana and that is karma. Jnana karma tagadui more pratariyaloi avasheshe fele sindhu paayan. There is no solution for this. E heno samay bandho tumi Krishna kripa sindhu kripa kori tole more bale. So you are the ocean of mercy. Oh Krishna, you are ocean of mercy. I am in the ocean of misery. Please uplift me and place at your speck of as a speck dust at your lotus. And lastly, he tells, Amitava Nityadas Bhuliya Mayar Pash. My original position is I am your servant Krishna, but because I am uh, deluded by this karma and jnana, I am forgetting. So these are the vicious effect of getting involved in fruitive activities. People, they just want they want to perform religious pious thing so that they want self gratification or they want their own quota. Many times I go for morning walk here in our layout. So one day I was getting sounds of Vedic mantras. So person was chanting Sri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Ramo Manorame and many demigods verses and everything. And he was performing yajna at home. And then I saw from where the sound is coming. And actually, at the far end of our layout, there is a godown of full liquor shop. Daily truckloads of like wines and beer that they upload and download everything, and they are doing like trading of all that. And the owner daily sits in his courtyard and he performs yajna, like invoking Vishnu, invoking Subramanya Swami, invoking Lakshmi, Hanuman, everybody, so that I should perform and my business should go on hopefully. But for what we should do in the purpose of life or purpose of doing things, we are defeated here. So we see with fruity mentality, people are behind all these karmakandic activities so that we are satisfied. We are happy in our materialistic life. So this is the Prabhupada is mentioning about this karma. And then about Gyan, he mentions that because Gyanis, as far as Gyanis are concerned, unless they are promoted to the topmost understanding, they must return to the material world. So although they are aspiring for Brahman realization, but because in Brahman realization there is no service mode, there is no bliss. It is just in neutral light. When we have a disease, let's say this is a bhava rog, material disease. Brahman realization is like disease-free life, but it is not all in all. There is a healthy life also. There is a blissful life also. That is devotional service. So because they are not aware of that, they are just into just disease-free life, mukti, liberation, but they cannot stay there longer time. Prabhupada tells, Aruya Krishna, they will fall down again and they engage into like social activities and serving something. So that's why real liberation is not becoming free from materialistic life. Real liberation is getting situated in our constitutional position. Mukti swarupena vyavastitihi. To be situated in our constitutional position. So what is our constitutional position? It is the servant of Lord. Jivera swarupa hai Krishner nityadas. Krishner tatastha shakti bheda bhed prakash. So we are the marginal uh, uh, Shakti of Krishna energy. So our we are one and different with Krishna, and actually we are the servant, the soul. The conditioned living entity is the part and parcel and the servant of Krishna. When we understand that, then we engage our exist and everything in the service of Krishna. So that is real mukti as per Shastra. And that's why Prabhupada mentioned in purport also that real devotee is no longer interested in karma and jnana. Anya abhilashita shunyam jnana karmadhyana. He is bereft of jnana and karma. He is not interested in jnana and karma. So Prabhupada Saraswati tells that Kaivalya Narkayate. I am least bothered about mukti. I don't want mukti. For me, mukti is like a narak, hell, hellish planets. Kaivalya Narkayate, Tridashpur Akash Pushpayate. All these three planetary system and higher planetary system, it is for me, it's like phantasmagoria. It's fantasy. Tridashpur Akash Pushpayate, Durdant Indriya Kala Sarva Patli Protha Damshtrayate. For me, no longer senses are disturbing me. What is this position? Earlier, these material senses, they used to bite me like a snakes, and now they have become like snakes with broken teeth. I am, I'm least bothered with the snakes. So Protkadam Shrati, Vishwam Purna Sukhayate, all entire world is, I'm feeling very blissful. Vishwam Purna Sukhayate, Vidhi Mahendra Dishchak Hitayate. The big positions of Brahma and Indra, I'm considering them as like positions of insects, small, Hitayate. Why this is all happening in our, like perception? So Prabhupada says the Tapsi, Yam Gauram, Yata Karunya Kataksh Gauram Mutame. When I will receive the merciful glance of Lord Gaurasundar, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this is the effect of that. I'm least bothered about mukti, I'm least about karma kand and all these things. So this is the position of devotee who is situated in the pure devotional service of the Lord. Yayatma Suprasiddhati. He is completely satisfied. He is no more behind karma kand or jnana kand. Narottam Das Thakur tells that Karma Kand, Jnana Kand, Sarva Vishaya Bhand. It is all pot of poison. It will always deviate us from our original position. That is devotional service. That's why Chaitanya Charitamrita tells about Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakale Ashanta Krishna Bhakta Ek Nishkam Atayava Shanta. So those who are up to bhukti, materialistic people, they are behind self gratification. Mukti, that is Gyanis, they are behind liberation, and yogis, they are behind Ashtasiddhis. So all these people will be always ashant. Why? Because they want something uh, from that activity, and they want to express their false ego in one sense. That's why they are always ashant. But bhakta, he's divine of course. He is not feeling something enjoyable apart from the service of the Lord. He's always connected as his original position as the servant of the Lord. That's why he's Atayva. This is very, very important. And that's why he is considered as Chatur. Say Jai Krishna Bhaje Sai Bhaje. That is a very clever ness of that devotee, that he is knowing how I can become peaceful in life. So by seeing, understanding the implications of this karma and gyan, um, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells about one story about the astrologer, that is Sarvagya. There was one poor man, and he was uh, very much tormented by the poverty, and astrologist, approaches the astrologer, and for the getting liberated from this poverty. And then astrologer tells, you have a big treasure left by your father, but because you don't know about that, you are suffering from this. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in this analogy of this Sarvagya, is mentioning this astrologer represents our Vedic literature, our Shastra scriptures, who can tell us about our real treasure. The real treasure is our pure devotional service, and that is left by our Father, that is Aham Bija Pradapita, Lord Krishna. And we are impoverished. We are, like poor people. We are not able to enjoy uh, this pure devotional service because we don't know where it is. So Sarvagya tells that your father has hidden this treasure in the one of the corner of your house. So he not only tells about that hidden treasure, he tells the process to how to dig that treasure and which direction you should dig. So he's telling, first of all, don't dig towards the southern region. In the south side, you don't dig that side. That side, if you dig, you will get a lot of, like these wasps and drones, all these vicious insects, brimga. It will come and bite you like anything, lot of huge quantity. So they will make your life miserable. Okay, so south side, you just leave the south side, and then he tells, don't dig at eastern side, western side. Western side, there is a big ghost, like powerful ghost, which will never allow you to, like touch that treasure. So avoid western side also. Then he tells about, like avoid north side also. If you dig at the north side, there is a big snake, like it's like python, and it will devour you immediately. So please don't dig at the northern side, but please dig at the eastern side. So what eastern side, if you dig little bit, you will get this treasure of pure devotional service left by your father. So in this analogy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is mentioning this, all these three sides except east, they denote about karma, jnana, and yoga. So southern side, which is representing as these uh, very poisonous insects, wasps, and drones, which will bite, that is compared to the karma kanda section of the Vedas. There are so many activities we have to do, this, that, you know, uh, to overcome this puja, that prata, that vaikalyas, everything all we have to do, and people will be tormented by that, and you will not get the real treasure. The soul will not be satisfied. So that is the karma kand section. He's mentioning about the ghost which is in eastern side, that is like jnana kand. It's a ghost, this ghostly mentality by which we want to merge into the existence of Lord in the Brahman refulgence. So that is also not going to give you the real treasure of life. And the northern side, if you dig, there is a big snake, and that snake will devour you. And that is all, yoga and siddhis. You will be behind the siddhis, and you will not get the real treasure of life. So that's why we should dig at the eastern side. At eastern side, you will get the real treasure, the devotional service, and by which your heart will be completely satisfied. So, काम क्रोधेर दास रहिया तारा लाठिकाय भ्रमिते जब साधु वैद्य पाए. By getting tormented by all these karma, gyan, siddhis, yoga, and 6 anarthas, when a person finds the real guru, sadhu vaidyapai, the real doctor, real vaidya, sadhu, taro upadesha mantre pishachi palai, by understanding his messages, all these ghosts, like ghostly thoughts will go away. Krishna bhakti pai tabe Krishna nikataja. Then we will find the devotional service of Krishna, which is very, very beautiful, very, very blissful. Otherwise, all our processes are dry, like speculative knowledge and karma and all these things. Yeah. One of the saints of Maharashtra, Tukaram Maharaj in Varkar Sampradaya, he tells that Pariyacha rava gheta bhumivari yatna paropari sadhana taise. This process of Jnana Kanda is so difficult, so difficult. It is like collecting para. Para is mercury, like this scientific elements. Mercury, it is always in liquid form. So if you, how much difficult it will be to collect from ground if mercury particles have spread out, collecting each and everything, it is very difficult process. So yatna paropari sadhana taise. The Jnanakan process is like as difficult as that. We cannot achieve this. On the contrary, the devotional service, oh Lord, oh Vithala, it is so blissful. Hari Pati gele te nivanta chithele, Brahmara guntale sumana kadike. So those who are behind you are taking your holy name and we are engrossed in your, like dancing and chanting your glories. Brahmara guntale sumana kadike. We are like bumblebees who are extracting nectar from your Krishna Katha and your holy name. So which process is good? Collecting mercury particles from ground is so difficult. On the contrary, it is just Pivat Bhagavatam Rasmalai. Glory, I am enjoying the nectar of the heart. So this is difference of Karma Kand section, Gyan Kand section compared to devotional service. So that's why the real person, the human being, when he will be he will start endeavoring on this path, progressing on the devotion service, then he will be least bothered about of this jnana and karma, and then he will be real Buddha. In this verse, we see that abodha jata, parabhavastavat abodha jata. These miseries are arising from ignorance. We are ignorant, that's why we are defeated. But when we will be learned, on the contrary of above this Buddha is like learned person, like Lord Buddha. So when we will become Buddha, when we'll understand this Atma Tattvam, Aham Sarvasya Prabho Matta Sarvam Pravartate Iti Matva Bhashante Ma Buddha Avasamanvita. Krishna tells Arjuna that when a person understands that I am the origin of everything, then he worships me with his full wholehearted thing, and then he will be learning. He knows the spiritual actual knowledge. This is very important. We become Buddha. We, in fact, we discuss this knowledge. Bodhayanta parasparam, machchitta madgata prana, bodhayanta parasparam, tushyanti cha ramanti cha. So, this is the activities of devotional service. Devotees, they are coming together and enjoying the Harikatha and glories of the Lord. And when we do that, then the parabhava and all the pavarga will be removed. Coming together in the association of devotees, performing devotional activities, and especially hearing the message of the Lord, it will remove the pavarga. Satam prasangat mama veerya samvido bhavanti ratakarna rasayana katha tajoshanadashva apavarga vartmani. As soon as this real rasayan, this Krishna rasayan goes into the ears, then what happens? Tajoshanadashva apavarga vartmani. Immediate effect is this pavarga cannot have influence on us. And this is a byproduct. And what will happen? Bhakti rati. Apavarga vartmani shraddha ratir bhaktir anukramashati. We will develop faith, we will develop attachment, and devotional service will be like sprouted in our heart. So that is the effect of engaging in devotional activities. So two things are very important. One is the spiritual knowledge and the spiritual engagement. We should know this Atma Tattvam, the knowledge about the soul, who am I, who is God, what is my relationship with God, Sambandha Gyan, what is the prayojan, ultimate love Godhead, and the Abhideya process, how to achieve that. So Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana, Naam, Ei Teenash, Arte, Sarva Veda Paryavasa. all the Vedic body of knowledge is filled with all this. Only the Sambandha Abhidaya Prajna. When we understand this Atma Tattva, then our endeavor is not Parabhav. It is victory. It is glorified. Oh wow, perfection of life the person achieved. See, in Shastras and all this, you will never find any uh, big achievements or accomplishments of materialistic people. People are achieving in the centuries after centuries. So many empires came and so many big people. They ruled the world. They came and they gone in the history, the pages of history. But Shastra is least bothered about. Scriptures are least bothered about this. But they are concerned about those devotees, although materially impoverished, but they have done this wonderful miracles because they progressed and they distributed this real treasure, that is devotional service, this Atma Tattva, and that is victory. So one side is Parabhav, material prosperity, but still Parabhav. And spiritual surrender, it is victory. We say in Bhagavad Gita, the last verse of Bhagavad Gita is Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanudhara. Tatra Shri Vijayo. Here is the victory. There is no Parabhav. So wherever Krishna is there and wherever Arjuna is there, four things will be there. Yatra Shri, Vijayo, Bhuti, that is the extraordinary power, and Niti, morality. So opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and Niti, morality, will automatically be there as long as there are Krishna and Arjuna, means the pure devotees of God. So this is the how to change our situation from Parabhav to Vijaya. That is this Atma, accepting devotional service, which is devoid of karma and jnana, which is not tinged by karma and jnana. So that is the real Vijay. Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtana. So in our life also, when we understand this knowledge, understand this Siddhanta, not just like ritualistically engaged in devotional service, again it will become like rituals. But to have the real understanding why I should do this, the Siddhanta is very important. As Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells, Siddhant Baliya na karalas, yaha hai te Krishna lage sadhur manas. When as long as the philosophical discussion of Siddhant comes, we should not do any, we should not show laziness. We should understand the real tattva, and when we understand this, then we are, once we are clear with why we do what we do, then we are, like inspired to do things very nicely. Tesham satatiktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. Then the real priti will be developed. Krishna lage sadruna manas. Whatever we are doing and wherever ninefold devotional service and then different activities we are doing, there will be priti. There will be love factor, whatever we are doing, and that will enhance and that will satisfy the soul, and that will please Lord also. So this is just the gist of this shloka verse I just wanted to tell. Rather than going after the materialistic activities, karma and gyan, both which are going to, like give the distress to that living entity. A living entity should be engaged in Atma Tattva and further in the devotional engagement of Lord, that is devotional service, bhakti. And this is the purport of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Anya Vilashita Shun Gyan Karmadi Anakutam Anukulena Krishna Anushilam Bhakti Rottama. This is real devotional service. So I think it's 8:07. I'll stop here. Prabhuji, any comments and suggestions? Please forgive me if I spoke anything beyond my adhikar. Whatever I have heard and whatever I have percolated in my mind, I just present it here. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for the very wonderful class. Just to summarize in maybe 1 minute. So we started about like what is Parabhava, and so whatever middle advancement that whatever we do, so like you said, there is still a Parabhava, and there you mentioned about the Pavarka thing, and you said that middle advancement, and if it does not lead to the Atma Gnana, so there is the Parabhava, and there like you gave examples of sadhus in Naimisarana asking about, they are not asking about the material things, but they are asking about the Atma Gnana. And Sanatana Goswami also asking the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who am I, what am I, why am I suffering, all these things. So these are the things that we need to inquire. And we should always ask about the Atma Gnana and related queries. And as long as mind is flavored with fruity activities, it is Parabhava only. And there you mentioned from the Bhagavata karma, what is karma, vikarma, and akarma. Akarma is the one that is devotional service. And there you mentioned that Vedas mainly talk about karma kanda. There, like you said, 60% karma kanda, 30% gnana kanda, and 10% is upasana kanda, and that also very less is the devotional service. And one should be very inquisitive about spiritual knowledge. And karma, only karma kanda and gnana cannot satisfy the soul. It is the devotional service that satisfies, and that's where devotional service is in between karma kanda, gnana kanda, and the Bhagavad Gita. And you said that like Krishna gave Atma Gnana first to Arjuna, then later gave other things like duties or activities. And you mentioned about the mukti or like Brahman realization. So there is no service. So there also will not have any positive engagement. And our country, our constitutional position is Jivara Sarupa Krishna Nitya Das. Then Narottam Das also saying that Karma Knana Gnana Kanda, all these are Sarva Vishaya Kanda. And all others except Bhakti, sorry, except devotees are miserable because they want something from the Lord or they are doing something. Only devotees does not want anything. They are very satisfied in doing the service to the Lord. And with the example of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu giving that Sarvagna,
Sarvagya.
yeah, Sarvagya, that thing there you mentioned that what is south side. So it is the Karma Kanda tormented by insects and all these things. Then west side is the Gnana Kanda, which is like a big ghost,
Yeah.
and that is the Yoga Siddhis like big snake, and it is the eastern side who has to dig for the that treasure. So that is the actual devotional service. And also you mentioned the quote from the Tukara Maharaj saying like Nanakanda is like a collecting the mercury, whereas the devotional service is drinking the honey from the Krishna's lotus feet. And
Yeah.
who is the Buddha? So he said that who understands that Krishna is everything and is the origin of everything. And like everybody should know the two things. One is the spiritual knowledge and spiritual activities. So there, Sambandha Abhidheya Prayojana. And there you mentioned that all material prosperity is the Parabhava and all spiritual prosperity is the victory. Then you quoted about Atraya Krishna, victory, prosperity, morality, and strength. Then you at the end you said whatever we do, we should do why we are doing with the knowledge of why we are doing and what we need to do. So these are the ones that gives the preeti. With these two understandings, so we develop the preeti. With that, we are happy, and Lord Krishna, Lord also will be happy.
Yeah.
And before that, you just mentioned engage in spiritual activities without gnana is the ritualistic activities. So there you mentioned we need to understand the gnana behind what we are doing. Thank you so much, Project. Like very wonderful class. Krishna devotees, your lines are already unmuted, and you can unmute and ask any questions or queries. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandvat Pranam. Excellent, wonderful lecture, Prabhu. And I mean, I don't have question because I don't have, uh, I understood, but I cannot reproduce my. But the one thing which I liked very much was that Krishna, you're the ocean of mercy. I'm the ocean of misery. That's one thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much, Mataji. So prayers of Acharyas are, like they're pouring their heart. Although Bhaktivinoda Thakur is not in ocean of misery, but he is representing all our conditioned souls, and he is mentioning, "Oh Krishna Kripa Sindhu, your ocean of mercy, please come and uplift me." Then what is our position? We are, even below down of that ocean of misery. So we should take this.
What is the beginning of that?
That is Anadi Karma Phale, na? This song where Anadi Karma Phale, Podi Bhavan Navajale, Tore Bare Na Dekhi Upare. So you search with Anadi in Vaishnava
Yes.
song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna devotees, any other questions or comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for your wonderful class. Prabhu, what represents the north side, Prabhu?
Sorry, what is the question, Prabhuji?
Represents north side. Prabhu, you
North
have
side.
said about
Yeah.
fourth north side.
Yeah, correct. North side is Ashtasiddhis, yogic process. So that is represented by that big snake which devours us. And like people who behind siddhis, that is expression of their false ego. One of the lecture Maharaj was mentioning when we were in the Kumbh Mela, Mahakumbh Mela. Mahakumbh Mela is the largest spiritual gathering. And there are all types of sampradayas, all types of yogis and siddhis and munis, everybody comes. And they are just, showcasing their all siddhis. Somebody is sitting on the, like red hot coals, somebody is sitting on the nails. And from years, it's not that for that particular Mahakumbh Mela they are sitting. Somebody's hands is always up, somebody's nails are like long, 10-meter. So this all siddhis, they are telling that with all, we can do miracles. But this is the expression of all false ego. So if we are behind this, then we will be devoured by this snake, big snake, and we will not get our real treasure. That's what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is mentioning in this analogy.
Okay, Prabhu. We have to be on the always east side, no, Prabhu?
So we have to be always east side. We have to dig east side, Purva Disha. So Purva is devotional service. Yeah.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think everybody is crystal clear, Prabhuji, with your thing. And the conclusion is like whatever material advancement we make is Parabhava, whatever is spiritual engagements that we are engaged. So that is the victory.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, everyone. I mean, this knowledge you might have heard many times, and like heard the lectures and all, all very well. But thank you very much for kindly and allowing me to present before you and considering me as your small brother and understanding. Please forgive my any offenses and please bless me that I could follow this and implement in our life. It should not be just talkative and like speaking, but I should implement this in our life and become develop some rati for devotional service. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Where is the Prabhu from, Prabhu? Which part of India?
Mataji, I am from Maharashtra, Kolhapur.
Kolhapur.
Yes.
Maybe Sri Balaji Das here. Sankarshan Prabhu had asked me to quickly introduce Prabhuji. So Sanatana Goswami Prabhu is based from Kolhapur. I got introduced to Prabhuji for almost 2 to 3 years now. And as was evident from the class what Prabhuji gave, Prabhuji is a multifaceted personality which classes there is a sincerity in the Shastras also, the understanding of the Shastras and presenting it also. And Kirtan is mind-blowing. Prabhuji is very good in Kirtan. On top of it, icing on the cake is Prabhuji is a very good cook also. He's very much doing wonderful service in Kolhapur temple. Now we have the fortune of Prabhuji's connected to ICC temple. And many of the festivals also, Vyas Puja ceremonies also, Prabhuji has been very active in kitchen seva. He can cook for n number of devotees. So Prabhuji also gives Bhakti Shastri classes in our temple. So we are very fortunate that we have the association of His Sanatana Goswami. So thank you so much, Prabhu, for being with us. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. By blessings of Shri Balaji Prabhu, I am nicely engaged in this wonderful assembly of vibrant association of ICC temple devotees. Because of our nice engagement in our ashram days in Kolhapur, our seniors Radha Gopinath, we could learn and this multi services. But the real association where we can implement and get an opportunity to take shelter in the services of devotees, that I'm finding here in ICC congregation. Thank you so much from the core of my heart for like always inspiring me and very nice. I'm really attracted to this temple, so I'm finding a real shelter of my whole family here. Thank you so much, devotees. Hare Krishna.
And Prabhuji and Mataji recently been blessed with a nice, beautiful baby girl, Janvi.
Yes.
Hari Bol.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We can end the class here with Vaishnava Pranama. Vancha Kalpataru.
Kripa
Anantaguru Vaishnava Kunduki Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Jai Tagore Premnande. Hare Krishna. Thank you, devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Hari. Thank you,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
Tomorrow 7:15 in the morning. Hare Krishna. Then
Hare Krishna.
Thank you once again for the wonderful class.